I'm not that musically inclined, but with regards to keeping a beat when I play bagpipes, it's all relevant, you know, like the timings and all that stuff. Like when you read the music of playing bagpipes, it's all about, you know, 3/4 time, 6/8 timing, you know, 9/8 timings, or whatever timing it is playing the bagpipes. That actually helped me, you know, do the bagpipes, because I'm really the play the bagpipes is pretty much a practice, memory, timing thing. And go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed that you don't have any notes in front of you when you're playing the bagpipes.
Right.
Is that a common practice among bagpipers?
Actually, no. That's playing the bagpipes. When you learn how to play the bagpipes, it's in stages. So what you actually do is you get the music. You have to learn how to read the music and learn it from scratch. You know, the scale and all that. And then when you get all that scale done, you advance into, you know, it takes about 6 to 8 months for you to learn all the notes of the bagpipes. You read all that. Then when you get a typical song, or in bagpipe world, they call it tunes. They never call it songs for some reason, I guess. It's tunes. So when you get an actual tune to play, you have to learn the tune in sections, learn the timing, and then actually memorize it. So when you memorize it on your practice chanters. You haven't even considered the bagpipes yet. You know, the actual bagpipes itself. You're just using a practice chanter, and you learn that, and you memorize the music. You play it over and over and over. You know, I spend right now, even at this point, after 30 years of playing, I spend about 3 to 4 hours a day playing. I'm always fiddling with my fingers, you know, playing a tune in my head. And then from that practice chanter, you go to, you graduate to the bagpipes. But that's only after you memorize the tune. So that could take a week. You know, it's all according to how complicated the tune is. Right now I'm playing with the City of St. John's Pipe Band. They're trying to get in some competitions and stuff. So we'll practice probably 4 tunes most of the winter, just to have it down to where we can compete. If you take 2 people playing the exact same thing, if one person's slightly off, if you're in a competition, a judge will hear that, and if he hears that, then you know you're out of the game. Whereas our band in St. John's, you're looking at probably 8 to 12 pipers, and each individual person has their own way of individually playing that tune. Well, we have to come together as one and play the tune exactly the same. And it could be complicated tunes. They're not just you know, regular tunes like Scotland the Brave or Amazing Grace. They're fairly complicated tunes. And when I'm talking about 4 tunes, I'm talking like they're lengthy, complicated tunes, and they blend. They're not 4 tunes. You play one tune, you stop. You play another. It's 4 tunes all in one get-go. You know, like right in a row. So you go from transpose. You got to transpose from one tune to the next tune, to the next tune, to the next tune. Oh, that was a really nice gig, yeah. And I met a lot of tourists, you know, and I sent a lot of them to Newfoundland because most of them came to go to Nova Scotia. So, yeah, that was bad. But yeah, I tell them, you know, have you ever been to Newfoundland? You know, no, we came to Nova Scotia. So, you know, well, go to Newfoundland. You'll see, it's beautiful down there. I don't know if they did. You know, a lot of people did, I think.
Did you meet any bagpipe players when you were
yes.
playing?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I met quite a few. Yeah. I actually it was a really interesting gig, really. I must say. Yeah. A proposal of marriage there at one point. Yeah, some girl come up from the States and she was all excited to see the bagpipe. She said, "Oh my God!" She said, "I want to marry you." She said, "Marry me and go back down to the States." I was flipping out, you know. There was a couple that came there and they from Texas, and they never even got out of their camper. They had this big Winnebago. They didn't have to get it. They shower in it and bathe in it and all that, and they just drove up just to get their picture taken with the bagpiper because they seen some sort of brochure down in Texas about a bagpiper playing at the border, and they wanted to do that.